No, did you?
I've never taken.
Not even once.
No, because it was in middle school when I decided to keep it.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
like my hair too and everything.
yeah. All right, I want to go into that later. What I like starting off with like every guest that I've had so far, and like I'm getting more into the motion of doing it this way, is going straight into like educational background, because that's like the main premise of like what I want to get out. So I want to go into like, and like I know a lot of this already because I've known you since literally kindergarten. So, and I've been in like all your classes up until middle school.
Yeah.
But like.
Actually, yeah. 8th grade.
Kindergarten through 8th grade, we were in the same class, so like that's literally.
We can curse or no?
Yeah, you can curse. Yeah, come on, what is this?
I don't know. It's YouTube.
So not really like the younger years. I'm talking about like general gist of like your parents, like immigration, all that stuff, and then you like your focus would be like high school, college kind of years.
Like the full background of my parents.
Not the full background, but like a general idea.
They came here and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what year my dad was here,
mm-hmm.
but like, he came like in the 80s, if not earlier. And like, I mean, like he took a boat from India and went to Germany, lived there for a little bit,
okay.
And then came to like California, Texas, and then he moved here.
Okay.
And then that's when he got his cab license.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 89 or 88, he went back to India, got arranged marriage with my mom.
Right.
And they had my brother in 90 there. And then he came
back. Your
brother
was born in India? Really? I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah. And then my dad came back here, and then it takes like a couple of years to get like the spouse over here.
Yeah.
So in 93, my brother and my mom came here.
It's around the same time my mom. My mom got here in 94. Well, was it difficult to get your brother here with your mom?
No. Because when you're an infant, like 5 or under, you're given citizenship automatically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, back then, I don't know more.
Yeah, it's probably not the same anymore. I think because what I know now is that if you have a child after you had applied for your spouse, so like I think my uncle had applied for his wife to come, but she had a kid in Bangladesh. So now there's like a whole like litany of issues because like they have a child there, but I don't know what they're gonna. I think they're gonna go through an entire other process to like get that through and get the child over as well. Yeah, I mean, cause like I'm pretty sure the law is still like if you're illegal here
mm-hmm.
and you have a kid here, that kid is fine, but you guys aren't still. But like, I'm not sure about a kid born somewhere else. Back then, like if you're born somewhere else, you come in that you as long as your parents are fine, then you're fine too. Yeah. Okay, so it's like what you said. They came here in the 93. Okay.
Yeah, and then 3 years later they had me.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's my parents' background. Like all that stuff.
A little summary there, and then let's go into you.
Wait,
you were in Queens your entire life, right?
Yeah, born in Queens Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, born and raised in Queens. So
yeah.
Richmond Hill.
Gotta rep it.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I'm Indian, obviously. So we had that strict background.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was growing up, it was always like, our parents' way or no way.
Yeah. The immigrant mentality.
Pretty much. It's a struggle. But yeah, I mean, like, so like high school now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to Brooklyn Tech, obviously, and you went to York, right?
Yeah, I went to Your older brother went to York, right?
Yeah.
How come you picked Brooklyn Tech over York?
I wanted to get into York.
Okay. All right, I remember this.
My scores were like right below
the
threshold for York, and then I went to Tech.
Because I remember the day where all of us got like the letter for our SAT scores and like what high school we were going to.
Yeah.
I remember me being like, oh shit, like I could have kind of stopped, but I put York.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Antonio was like, well, I didn't make anything back by like 2 points.
That was funny.
Because the thing is, he didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it is what it is.
But like, I miss York because like this girl named Stephanie, like, I don't know if you remember her. Like she got like a 5'10" or 5'08", and then I got like
Yeah, she was in. I mean, I knew her.
I got like a 5'04", 5'06".
Yeah, and she got in.
She got in, but I
didn't. Yeah.
But I'm like, it's whatever. Like, what's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
Tech was an experience, so no.
I mean, it's different. That's a complete. The thing is, like, those are two opposite ends of like a high school experience, in my opinion.
For a dude born and raised in Queens to go to Brooklyn for school for 4 years, it was different, and like, I liked it too because like I had that the mentality was still the same because we're in New York.
Yeah.
But it was a different. Like it's fun to
different
see that borough.
Yeah. And I think on top of that, this is something that I got from some of the friends that went to York who commuted. I think it really builds your work ethic early on to have to commute all of high school, a little bit at least.
It gets you used to more of the boring stuff that you have to go through for like a job or whatever. Like because like it teaches you like to commute properly. Like if you're busy, like, you can work while commuting, or if you're like don't give a fuck, you can just like do whatever while commuting.
Yeah.
But like you don't get that like constant atmosphere. Okay, I need to do this. Like I have to get this done because I have to go somewhere. I have to go far or whatever.
It's time maintenance.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Brooklyn Tech was probably a commute and a half for you. It's like an hour.
As long as then it's longer for me to go there than to come here. Because by train,
Okay.
it took me about
Sheesh.
2 hours to get to Tech.
Really?
And then yeah, because I had to take a bus.
It's the buses
the
that get you.
243, and then that to the first stop on the F train, and then that
F train all
took
the way down?
about 45 minutes, and then F train to G,
Okay.
or no, the F or the E to G, and then
Okay.
take that to Hoya, and then or whatever,
Yeah.
and then that took about 2 hours, and then
That's such a commute.
the commute here is just I get on the LR and that comes straight here.
Yeah.
So like in that commute and this commute is an hour and 15-20 minutes. If I drive, it's an hour, which I do now. But yeah, the commute back then was harder, and then I feel like. But like I like commuting, like I like moving, I like and traveling because I feel like it's more.
I think it's time to like think and just kind of have some time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's a good way to put this. It's like a time lapse thing. It's like an in between phase of like, oh, like I'm getting ready for the day. Kind of like just waking up type of thing.
Yeah, but more like I fell in love with like music and like video games and like just like other shit like on like while traveling.
Right. Okay.
And then like when I travel, I'm like, okay, now I have time to do my other thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's interesting you say that because my friend Keyshawn, he actually always listens to podcasts, and the reason he got into them and got so into them and listened to so many hours worth is because of his commute. Because he went to City Tech and he commuted an hour and a half every single day, and that's an hour and a half of it just listening to people talking.
Yeah, I've been doing that more now lately too. 'Cause like before, like it was just music. It was just like straight rap.
Yeah.
Now it's like I put on like a podcast once in a while because like it's always interesting to learn other viewpoints and how they think about like their outlook on life or whatever, and then mine.
The industry's growing pretty fast, and on top of that, I think more people are getting a little like sick and tired of just listening to music over and over again. Like it gets.
Same old music, yeah.
Like you can keep finding music.
Yeah.
But eventually you're like, oh, this is just like. Like hurting my head a little bit. I want something a little bit more relaxing.
Sure. Like that's half the reason why I'm trying to create music.
Yeah.
Because like, at some points, like I've heard all of it, or like the stuff I haven't heard is like it's not my taste. So now it's like okay, like so what if I can make something that I like?
Right.
And try to make that.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Yeah, for sure. My fault.
So you went to Brooklyn Tech. So what was your experience at Tech? Because I know Tech is it's a technical school, so like you get to pick your major or like kind of direction you go towards when you're there.
That's funny, because like that. In our third year, we pick a major that we want to get into, and like there's like so many like there's biomed, like there's law, there's like engineering, all that stuff, and then there's one called college prep.
Okay.
And college prep is the easiest, most laid back major that they can get into.
Did you take college prep?
I got college prep. Because I was like, I'm going to college soon. Like I don't want to have to deal with all this extra work before college, and then get into college and to do all that work too. So I'm gonna chill in high school, get my grades, and then go to college.
Okay.
So I was like, screw all that other shit. I'm just chill for now. And I did that. And then, but like,
college didn't prep you for college though.
No, of course not.
Okay.
High school never prepared. Like it never prepares anybody for college. Like any high school.
I agree with that.
Because like they feel like, oh, I'm not gonna help you on assignments or whatever.
I'd say New York City schools in particular are not the best at that. I think if you went to like a private school.
I mean that's all I know. So.
Yeah. That's why I think like we're kind of skewed on that spectrum of like how we think.
I mean,
counselors are with that.
They always say like we're gonna teach you how to work by yourself and all that stuff, but no, like they still help you in high school. And, like they give you like like deadlines for like your first draft, second draft, and your essay or whatever. And in college, like either you do it yourself and you give it down on time, or you're fucked.
Yeah.
So
I think the big distinction with like the New York City like public schools, even like specialized schools versus like private schools, like teachers and counselors don't really sit us down and like explain everything as in depth as they should.
See, I think they used to try to, but then kids don't care either. So like
that is true.
Over time, they give us like the minimal amount of information that we need, and that's it. And then I mean, like it's a two-way street. Like,
it is a two-way street.
Kids also don't want to really care about that stuff right now.
Yeah,
they're having
I'd
fun.
say like anything from 14 to 18, that entire age,
Yeah.
you think you're invincible. You don't think you can take information from anyone, and then when you turn like 20, 21, you're like, I don't know anything.
Exactly.
I literally don't know what's happening.
I mean, like I was like I understand that viewpoint because I had it for a little bit, but then I'm more on learning because like even like little kids, like they can teach me something. So like, I'm always trying to pick up some new stuff from anybody I talk to. And like I mean I feel like that kind of mind state like helps with judgment. So like if I'm like if I didn't know you, right, and I'm talking to you for the first time, and like I might hear some stuff that other people might be like, oh, like that's really like not normal or whatever, it's weird. But then me, like I'm like, oh, like that's a different thing that I didn't know about, so I can learn from that. Like, see if that, you know.
That's actually one of the chapters in the book I'm reading right now by Jordan Peterson. It's listen to others as they know something that you do not.
Yeah.
Like that's really important. I think a lot of people don't take that into consideration. Where it's like, oh, like even if they are wrong, they're giving you a viewpoint that you might not have thought about.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with what they're saying.
I love arguing, right?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like.
Debating.
Not arguing. Like I love to specifically. I love to win, right?
Okay.
But at the same time, like even if they're
okay with losing?
opposite from me, yeah. I mean, like if I'm in the wrong, then yes, for sure. Okay. But like most time, like I argue about like some random mundane things. But if I'm debating something, like it's about like viewpoints or religion,
right?
And I can't say that you're wrong about your religion or your viewpoint because that's your viewpoint and your religion. So like like I'm still learning from that because like it's still like a mind state that like I want to pull in everything I can, and I feel like most kids or like teenagers don't understand that until later on.
Yeah, without a doubt. Teenagers think they have. I personally believe, and this isn't everyone. I think a large majority though, at that time when you're a teenager, you think there's no reason to take in more knowledge or information.
Sure. Yeah.
I think you don't really value information as much as you do as you get older.
Yeah, because like at a certain point, you like after being a kid, you're like, okay, like I'm grown up enough to like do my own thing. So like screw my parents.
Yeah.
I know more than them about this age.
Yeah.
When
that's the exact mentality
and you might and cause like we might know more about like technology as as us, but like our parents know more about human beings.
Yeah, and like the real world and like actually paying bills and all these things that we just don't understand. Like there's an entire spectrum of just subject matter that we just don't know about. So we don't know anything about it, so we just assume we know.
We're privileged in that sense, because like some kids do know, but like we, like our parents like did all the stuff for us, like paid the bills, like did all the water, power in the house, whatever, and like, so like I feel like I'm sheltered in that way. Like I haven't had to experience the real world because my parents make money and they give me money. And now my brother's working and he pays the bills. Like I have freedom to do whatever I want right now.
I mean, that's the distinction. I had this conversation before with other friends. It's like that's the distinction between families who've been here for generations versus immigrants who just came here. It's like just like the generation accrual of like property and wealth over time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that's the difference.
Yeah. Like our parents, and like you're like the eldest child, right? So like the parents have to struggle, and so does the firstborn. Cause like
I agree with that.
He's still like, cause he has to learn about that new world along with the parents.
Right.
But like the second and third kids.
Yeah, I see that
relax a little bit, cause like that's what happened with me. Cause like you have like more pressure on you like in your household than I do. Cause and same with my brother, cause he has to like back when we were children, and then my dad worked a lot. He was like the man of the house, and then so like he grew up with all that responsibility and whatnot. And like so like that's why I always say like in my house right now I have 2 fathers and 2 mothers because like my brother and my sister-in-law they pretty much act like
another set of parents.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, I think
they just know about that responsibility that I don't know about yet.
Being the oldest child and like speaking from like experience, it's like a buffer zone of like the parents like coming from a different demographic, a different mentality, a different culture, and then me like trying to kind of get into this culture, this mentality, like being in the U.S.
and helping your siblings with
so like helping my siblings who are like all here while also trying to help my parents who are like not all the way, you know, like they still have all these cultural backings and like kind of ideologies that they're still holding on to from before. So it's like kind of like a mix of everything and trying to find like that nice like middle ground.
Exactly. It's not easy.
It isn't. But yeah, let's go back to talking about school. So you did the college prep program.
College prep, yeah. I mean, through that, I met like some cool friends. I met like this really cool professor that I thought was cool, but then like he's been in the news in the past couple of years for being like a pedophile and whatnot.
Oh, no.
So yeah.
I feel like there's so many people coming out with so many allegations.
I mean, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Cause like that's like. Cause like I feel like in the industry, like in like music and in filmmaking, all that stuff, like that stuff actually happens.
No, yeah, without
I never expected. I mean, of course, like this is.
No, that's. I mean, even the pedophilia thing. That's happened. That's
cliche, but like I never expected someone like him to do that.
Someone I think advisor or something from City College, where my friend goes. Another person was allegedly came out as a pedophile. I don't know
He came out or was accused?
No, was accused.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if this is true or not. I remember him saying that he had child pornography, but I don't know if like it's 100% certain. That could be wrong.
That's kind of crazy.
It's accused or did have. It's one or the other, but I'm not gonna say.
Child porn is crazy.
I don't want to go into that. It's just an entire other debate, problem and issue.
Yes, it is. But like I met this cool teacher, like he helped me like pretty much just learn about like the transition from being like a teenager to being an adult.
Right.
And like I mean like he probably is guilty because I feel like he was kind of like open.
Oh God.
Like about stuff.
Don't tell me touchy.
No. I'm pure, okay. No, but like he was open about like sexuality and being like that type of person like in classes was because of whatever because he was cool and he was young still-ish.
Right.
So like yeah, but like he helped me kind of learn and college prep was just like it was like we'll prepare you for college. But no, because like if you're in college prep, like you just take like basic courses instead of like the special courses that they would take from other majors.
Right.
So like we just take like.
So it's more like general understanding.
Yeah, it's like more well-roundedness in general, and not like specific knowledge in one area.
So why did you pick? So like, did they help you with your decision for going to college?
What do you mean? Like where I want to go?
Like where you wanted to go? Yeah.
No.
Not at all?
No.
So what the hell? What is this program? I think it's that's like probably the most important thing to help someone with.
Majors in high school, like they were majors, but like they weren't really important.
Okay.
Like they had no really impact.
They're kind of like a superficial label kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And like they force you to go into it, but and if you want to do that in like later on in college too, like it may have helped you because you already take classes for that.
Right.
But like it was superficial. Like it didn't really like help kids do that like in my eyes. Because like everyone that I knew that like got into certain majors, like in high school, like they went completely different in college.
But from what I know, wasn't it like when you go into one of those different technical fields in Brooklyn Tech, like they gave you specific classes?
A little bit, cause I have friends that went to like law making whatever, and like they had like a courtroom in the basement, and they learned about the law and whatnot.
Okay.
So like, if you went into that major, then you got a glimpse of what that major
career would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But like,
it didn't really help you that much. It was like kind of just like a tidbit of what it would be, but not in depth enough for you to really understand it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, cause like it's basically like watching a video on YouTube about a career. It's like, oh, like that looks interesting. I might look at it, and then you get to like the actual like the meat of it. And it's like, oh wait, this is crazy. This is way more than I thought it would be. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So what made you make your decision to go for going to college, for going to Stony Brook? Was it just like vicinity, like or close, or was it just like
money?
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I get paid to go here, like
okay.
the financial aid, the FAFSA, and the TAP.
You've commuted all 4 years, right? You never lived on campus.
Because dorming puts you in debt. And I want to leave college without any debt, because debt is one thing that holds everybody back in life. And I just
yes and no.
Yeah.
It depends on how much debt you're going into.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, this is like one of the first paragraphs on like my website is like it's like college in some colleges 20-year-olds that are in like $40,000 to $50,000 worth of debt and they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
But again, it depends on where you're going. Like Stony Brook, like for dorming for 4 years, like I'm in like around $30,000 worth of debt. My parents did pay on top of that. But like considering I stayed for 4 years, that's not that bad.
But you like people like that, like, cause like they have a plan, like or like an understanding where they're gonna go.
That's true.
Like they have a way to pay that back afterwards. Like even if it takes a couple years or like 15 years or whatever. But like most kids, I feel like that like they go to college, like private school, whatever. They rack up like $200,000 in debt.
Yeah.
And then they just.
My cousin did that.
Yeah.
She went to NYU.
It takes like 30 years to pay that back properly.
She
Unless like you're becoming a doctor and like you're making $1 million, but like that's not everybody.
Yeah. But my cousin, she went to NYU. She went into, I think she's already in like $100,000 just for an undergraduate. This is the thing that really pisses me off. Is that
I want a master's too. So
like people are going into this much debt for an undergraduate.
Yeah.
An undergraduate should not be worth this much.
For sure not.
Because after an undergraduate, you're no longer guaranteed a career making an extremely large sum of money, especially if you're not in the STEM field. Yeah. Like you're not guaranteed anything anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Because in my opinion, getting an undergraduate has become getting a high school degree now. It's the equivalent of like 30 or 40 years ago.
You
like
pretty much need it to get like a basic job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have a bachelor's at the very minimum, like you're not getting a great job.
No.
Coming out of college.
No. Like not like in like the
going into the field. Yeah.
For sure not.
And like again, going back to like 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are going to college, you don't really have enough knowledge to understand how much debt $60,000 worth of debt is.
Because like it seems like a lot, and of course it is a lot.
It is, yeah.
But like
to that person, you don't understand how much money that is.
Cause the kid had kind of dealt with that much money before. Yeah. Cause like before I came to college, like I didn't know what a grand looked like. And then like I got my I got my return check, and then half of that went to like books and travel expenses. Yeah. And then like and then household whatever shit. And then I checked my bank like a month later. It's like $200. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah. I worked freshman and sophomore year. I worked throughout like the summers and through the semesters. I had about $3,000 saved, and then there was one semester when my parents had a little bit like trouble paying, and I helped them out, and like all that money was gone. And, like, literally in a second. Like that year I was like broke, and now I'm in just credit debt. So like it's like you don't know how much money
about credit
cards is worth.
Because like when I got my first debit card, I'm like, all right, like this is all I need. Like I don't need a credit card.
Right.
But then my parents were like, get one to build up your credit score or whatever. Yeah. So I got one. I'm like, all right, like I'll spend like $5-10 on like a week, maybe a month, and never use it. And the next thing you know, it's like $500. How? Like this makes no sense. Like I bought coffee once. So like what the fuck?
You buy coffee one time, you just $5.
Exactly.
No, I remember when I first got my car. So I have two credit cards. I have the Amazon one and the Chase one.
Yeah.
And like when I first had them, like I had both, and it was like, oh, like cash back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be smart about it. Like you gotta be stupid to get into credit debt and not be able to pay off. You just pay it while you're using it, right?
Exactly.
It's human mentality. You think nothing's gonna happen. This is not to get you. You think nothing's gonna happen, and then like 2 months later, you're like, oh shit, I have no money, and I have my credit card completely.
Exactly. Like I'm just lucky that like my minimum balance dues were like $30, $40.
Yeah, mine's the same.
But like
it's accruing interest.
It grew so quickly.
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't work towards the end of last semester because I was like busy with like midterms and studying. So I was like, all right, like I don't really want to focus too much time on working because I want to study. Like that's more important to me. Sense. And within a month, because I buy all my groceries living in West Apartments, so it adds up really fast. That's where all my money goes. You just realize how expensive groceries are out there.
Because like my parents just went to India for 2 weeks,
so you have to buy groceries.
Like along with my brother and sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And I'm at home and there's nothing in the fridge. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna get cereal. I'm gonna get some like veggie burgers. And then like some salad and all that stuff. I go to the store. I get to the counter. It's like $100 for like 4 items. I'm like, the fuck?
Every time I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna spend $30. $150.
I work at a grocery store too. It's the funny part. And I came in for some eggs and I bought like $200 worth of stuff. I'm like, are you stupid? And then I'm like, okay, I get it now.
I get it. Yeah, it adds up so fast. Yeah, so I didn't work that much toward the end of last semester, and it was like over a month. I think I got like $500 to $700 worth of credit debt just buying like groceries and like other stuff. It went downhill really fast. I just looked at my credit account and I was just like, "Why'd you do this? Why'd you play yourself?"
I feel like it should be like a film. It's like just like a skit on Instagram, whatever. It's like somebody just looking at the credit card bill, whatever. It's like, all right, $0. Okay, cool. Next month, like, and it's like $50. Like, all right, like that's whatever. The next month, like $500. Like, I don't know if I got this, but it's still fine. Like, I got money, and then next month, $1 million. Like, that makes no sense, I needed that, that pool in the backyard.
And you don't understand that value of money until you start using money the way you do in college.
Like that's what everything. Like you don't understand the value of anything until you start using it or accustomed to it.
Yeah. So going back to like the high school student thing, like you don't know, and I think that's a big thing that needs to be taught more often in high school education. Is just like this is what debt is. This is how it's going to accrue.
For sure.
Like real world statistics and numbers on like how money works.
On top of that, like they need to do that for sure. But then kids all like. I mean, like the kids, yes, but like they often like need to want to learn about that.
That's true.
Because like,
you can't force it.
I feel like me and you, we're the type that would be interested in that. But then they're also like the majority is like fuck all that. I'll need that till later. Yeah. And then when later comes, like, oh, I should have learned that.
100% true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming to Stony Brook was like a financial decision.
Yeah. And like I asked my parents if I could go somewhere else, out of city, out of state. Like no.
The cost is just too much.
No. Yes and no. Like the cost is crazy, but like like if it was somewhere else, like where I had relatives that I could stay with them, but it was more like they don't want me to go elsewhere because I'm kind of like weird and.
What do you mean you will?
We're weird. We know that, but like also like it's weird to say about myself because but they were saying like I'm uncontrollable in a way. Like I'll do stupid shit just to do stupid shit.
Okay,
and that type of stuff. And then I'll get into trouble really.
And if you got into trouble, like what's gonna happen?
Exactly.
That, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like they're like no out of city.
Right.
I'm like, alright, cool, whatever.
Yeah, my parents did the same thing. Because I wanted to go to UB for a little bit. I'm really happy I didn't go to UB. Yeah,
it's crazy. My cousin goes there.
Because I wanted to go there because they have a really good math program, and like one of my friends was going there, and I thought it was like, it'd be fun getting away from home. I was like, I just want to leave. I want to leave home. I was like, Stony Brook's only an hour and a half away. Like, should a kid come check on me? Like, I don't want to go. It's too close. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going 8 hours away. I'm very glad I didn't make that decision because they get piles of snow. It's 8 hours away. The commute would have been horrible.
Cold as fuck.
Yeah, it's just like I'm very happy I didn't make that decision. But yeah, I for a little bit I wanted to, but my parents made me reconsider. They're like if you're there, like we can't help you if something goes wrong. Like you're gonna be too far. We have other things to deal with here while you're away.
No, like but that decision, like as a kid, it's cause I love parents obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I want to live away from them for a little bit, see what it feels like. Like, see like what's different. Like how much would that actually help me? Yeah. And then cause I've had nights where I stay on campus overnight, and I'm like, yo, I miss my bed. It's crazy. And cause I don't know, it's like parents really help you more than you think they do.
I think if you dorm, you also learn that.
Yeah, for sure.
It depends on which situation you're in. Like for me, I don't think I learned it to the same extent I did the latter 2 years versus the first 2 years. Because the first 2 years, my parents paid for everything, including like my meal plan. So like I didn't really have to work. Like all my money was going to my expenses. And then junior and senior year, moving out to West Apartments, I started paying for my groceries. I started helping them with like paying for tuition and stuff, and that's like again like that's when I started really understanding the value of money. I was like, oh, groceries.
When you pay tuition, you at that point you know money.
Yeah, and I started like thinking about all the stuff that they were doing, like past years, like how much they were paying. It's like my dad helped me make a payment today for this semester. Like I look at the amount of money that is now, and I'm like, oh my god, like that is like such a gigantic chunk of money that I'm just stealing from them.
To be honest, I don't have enough confidence to do that type of stuff without someone helping me or next to me or whatever. Because that's a credible amount of responsibility to deal with all that money in the first place as well.
Yeah.
So I need someone to be like, all right, go here.
Right.
And click that button. Okay, cool. You paid 40 grand debt. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. That's crazy.
Yeah, so the next thing I want to go into is actually just how you picked your major in college. Actually, just really quick, can you just move in a little because you realize you're kind of out of camera. Okay, that's good.
No, I mean, it was more technology. I love technology. It's interesting. And I wanted to learn how to code, but also wanted to learn the components of computers.
Okay.
So that's why I picked computer engineering because I would learn how to code and make programs and make all that stuff software based, and then I would also learn the hardware side of it too.
Okay, so it's like full picture type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought.
So what did you think wrong?
It makes sense for schools to teach this, but they teach you the basic components of everything, right? So we'll get taught the transistor and the gates, how to make transistors and cool. That's smart to do. On top of that, I felt like we needed more classes where we learn how how to build an actual computer, the components the GPU, CPU, and how to take apart a tower and build it back up. But no,
you didn't learn any of that?
No.
I mean, you don't have to learn that in school, but I think it's
but
if you're doing computer engineering, I think you'd learn it.
Yeah, but all we learned was theoretical shit and transistors and the basic coding. Because even the coding that they teach us it's not enough for an actual job.
Right.
And then my brother is already in the field, and he did the same thing that I'm doing, but at NYIT. And then he was the second, third, and fourth year basically did nothing for him. He learned all
college.
Yeah, he learned all he needed to do in the first year and a half, and then that was it. And then the company that hired him, they trained him for a month, and then he learned everything there at training.
I think that's more, closer I'm getting a job. This is the last semester. I realized that. I think college is more to just prove your capabilities.
Exactly.
And being at the job training
but when you're asking for that much money to just prove yourself, that's crazy.
That's also true. But I think the reason why college is so expensive, and this is an entire thing I don't really want to get into, but I think it's because of the way the governments have subsidized loans and the way the government subsidized tuition. Because if you take into consideration the fact that you get these federal the Stafford loans, the unsubsidized and subsidized loans, it just reinforces colleges to bump up their prices because they know that these college students are going to get this loan no matter what. For me, it's I am guaranteed $55 to $65, $7,500 of loans each year, without consideration of my income or anything like that.
But you're basically robbing kids of a better future. sooner. Like,
but the idea of I guess we're getting into this. The idea of a subsidy is to let these people be able to go to college, right? But the thing is, once you enforce a subsidy, then the colleges can hike up the prices because now they have more capability to pay. Whereas if you don't have a subsidy, right, and then people can't pay, then they won't go. If you look at you with your financial decision of going here, right, you understood the price and you didn't go because you knew you couldn't go there, right? So if you don't have the subsidy and now you can't afford to go, less people are going to go. Therefore, the competition is going to be more in terms of how competitive your prices can be. Yeah. Colleges are going to have to drop their tuition or dormant prices to whatever is feasible to get the students to go there.
Okay, and I'm not saying that college isn't necessary; it is necessary. But who would deem college to be this worth that much?
Right. I agree with that.
Because college is important, when you want to specialize in a field, right? Mm-hmm. But
it's not for everyone.
No, it's not. So why is it deemed so it has so much worth in society?
I think it's society.
But why? Because he's smarter, he's better than everybody else, or he has that knowledge, or he's been to college 4 years.
I think again this goes back to proving yourself. How do you kind of standardize and institutionalize proving yourself? You know what I mean? Even if you if you didn't go to college and you're capable of whatever it may be, you're an amazing mechanic, right? You could get a job like that. Yeah. But how do you prove yourself? You have to work in the field and get there. But the thing is that's more difficult of a route.
But I'd rather do that because I'm actually still doing something. So just sitting back, learning something, and getting a degree that may or may not reflect what I actually know.
The thing is with getting a college degree, because I've had this debate a lot, is getting a college degree. It's for those people who don't know. It offers you another route. If you don't know what you're going to do, and you don't know a technical field that you could just kind of throw yourself into, if you get a degree, you have 4 years to kind of buffer you learning something versus you trying to figure out where you're going to go and what you don't like.
Multiple reasons why people go to college, because there's some kids that are pressured in by parents and whatnot.
Yeah, also true.
But I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn.
With learning outside of school, or the value society puts on college.
Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. But I think society puts a lot of value on college because of the fact that it's easy kind of methodological a method to prove yourself capable as a person.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's even if I don't use my degree after I graduate, it's I've proved with my grades, with the classes I've taken, I can do these things.
Yeah, but grades don't mean anything.
I disagree with that. I don't think grades mean everything. I think they mean something.
Yeah.
Because if you are in college for 4 years and you get...
But also, because grades mean something, but the fact that they're based on tests that some kid can learn for, and so that just that test and forget about later.
Right.
So in the end run, what does that grade mean? You learn enough to pass that test.
Right.
But then can you still pass the test right now?
No, I can't.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, it doesn't mean everything, but it means something. And the distinction I can make is me versus my sweet mate Pravin. When he learns math, he's learned everything from the base up, and he understands everything very well, right? Whereas me, I forget everything. I learn something and it's out my brain the other day. The next day it's gone. But the thing is I prove that I can learn it, and it doesn't mean that if I forget it, that doesn't mean I just completely don't know how to do it. Sure. I can relearn it. Is the point?
But I feel that's way too much value on grades for.
It is.
For just proving yourself.
I agree. But again, what's the second best method? How else can you make someone prove themselves worthy? Exactly.
Just put them in the field.
But see, that's a lot of
of course,
chances you're taking on a person.
More technical fields like engineering, medicine, the law, whatever. They need special training, of course, because there's more specialized and things to do, and there's more error. If you're wrong in that field, it can go horribly. But for the lower fields, you can just toss someone into the field or give them a little bit of training and then put them in and then.
Okay, the best argument I can give you for that is think about internships, right? If you have a lower GPA than someone, let's say 2 resumes, right? Everything is the same, GPA and whatever, but someone has better internship experience. The person with the internship experience is going to get chosen because they've proven themselves in the workforce now.
But then also on top of that, some kids just don't have enough time for internships because of school and their home life and
right.
That's
true.
So
circumstances.
Whatnot.
I mean, there's so many factors to take into account. I think it's difficult to again try to make it a method where it'll work for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think
I know. I mean, like, I agree with you in the fact that like this is the best method we have right now. I don't like it.
yeah, I don't either. I think more and more people are disliking it now because it's easy. I think it's easier now to find a route without having to go to college because of technology.
Yeah. But also like because of technology, like it's also like the people that would never have thrived back in the day are thriving now because
I agree.
Like they're just posting like controversial stuff and like
That's also true. Yeah.
And like they get their fame that way and they make money that way.
I mean, it is.
And I guess it's a skill too.
Yeah.
But
I think it is.
Yeah.
Being a social media influencer and like actually like
it's
making people care about what you're doing is pretty damn difficult.
For sure, a skill, but like
it's not the same form of skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like the actual industry, like engineering and medicine, whatever, it's a lot harder because you have to like, take time and learn all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then in a really competitive field, you get a job and like progression through that.
It's more structured. It has
for sure.
It's like a ladder.
Sure.
It's like step by step, rung by rung. You're kind of working your way up. Whereas that's just like, oh, like I'm not doing anything, and then you do one thing, and it makes you skyrocket. You turn into a meme, and now you're famous, and you're loaded. It's a weird system, but it is what it is now, and it's existent now.
Yeah, but technology, but like it just progressed so quickly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because like back when we were kids,
we weren't on technology the same way kids are now.
No, for sure not. Because I in the 7th or 6th grade, I got a flip phone, right? And then like at that point, I was like, this is the dopest shit I'll ever have. And then fast forward like 3 years, I got a smartphone. Like that,
wow.
Like that shit is garbage compared to this. Yeah, it's like. But this, like just the amount it's changed is crazy.
I remember that. I remember in middle school, I borrowed my mom's hot pink Razor phone.
You remember that Razor phone?
Yeah, I had that. My dad had the Crazer, so it was like the skinnier one. Yeah. And I was like, oh, those are dope. Like these are fresh. Like his is like masculine. His fit like there's like a difference there. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I had like a sidekick for a little bit.
Yeah, that was dope.
That sidekick was the shit. It's still the shit. People love it. And then I remember in high school, the first real phone that I got, like that was my phone, was a touchscreen phone. And like I showed it to my parents and like it's just dumb, like what is this? And then I showed it to them and I was like, look, you could just touch the screen and it works. And they're like, minds were blown. They're like, what? Like why did we not get that?
Yeah, that's crazy. No, but like have you seen that video of like those robot dogs like opening a door? That's freaked me out a little. It scared me in 2 ways because I'm like, this is crazy because like the amount that we progressed is insane. Also on top of that, because like we've been like hammered by like culture and whatnot that like we're gonna have that robot uprising. So like that scared me in that way. And then I gotta say like we've improved a lot in the past years, like just technology wise.
Yeah, I think people, and I have this argument all the time in my sustainability classes. People like blaming humans in like a negative way a lot. A lot of like environmentalists would be like, oh, like humans are terrible and like we're doing all these bad things. But I think in terms of general like standard of living, I think across the nation, across the globe, has gotten better than it was 15
for sure.
years ago.
But like I don't think that's the opposite still, because like humans can be bad, just not towards themselves. I mean, like, of course we are.
No. So I'm not saying that we're not bad.
Even though like the standard of living has gone up, like it can still affect negatively like the earth itself or the stuff around us.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing that I disagree when they say it's like they have this innate like kind of argument where it's like everything we do is horrible and like we should just stop doing things. I'm like, no, like the way humans have been advancing, like we're working towards progress constantly.
Yeah, not everything.
Yeah.
I mean, cause like humans are like some humans are capable of like truly like horrendous deeds.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But like I feel like, but also again like we shine a light on all the horrendous stuff and not the good stuff.
Yeah.
Cause like we pinpoint like all like the bad stuff that the humans have done: pollution, murders, all that stuff, and war. I
think it's easy to point out the negative and kind of discount the success and positives.
Cause like I feel like as society like we expect some improvement and growth in culture, but like
it's like oh like that's just normal.
Yeah,
like, getting better is like it's just supposed to be a thing.
And then when something bad happens, like oh like and like every media outlet is covering that.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I as I was getting older, like I've been watching the news more often, or like listening to news or paying attention to more. The news is depressing, man.
It is.
They only cover those negative things.
Exactly.
I don't know why. Like they don't really cover the positive things.
I mean, like, and I get like because news like it's like a new thing that happened, cool, but it's like it's always something negative.
Right.
Yeah, and then with Trump here, it's
I don't want to get Trump.
It's kind of funny too, but yeah.
It is. It's a reality TV show.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's crazy.
Pretty much.
But yeah, going back to college, let's say so you're doing computer engineering.
Yep.
So what are your plans post college? Like I know it's a tough question.
Well, I mean, ideally, because my brother is already in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, like after I finish my undergrad here, I can get a contract with him for like a year, like at his company.
Right.
And then at the same time go to business school for my MBA here.
At Stony Brook?
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that.
It's not okay. I've heard that and it's not accredited yet.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're working on it, and like they're halfway through it. It's like and even if I finish mine, before they get that that accreditation,
Mm-hmm.
it still applies to my degree.
It is a plus degree. I'm not gonna say it's not.
And it's just cheaper.
It is cheaper, but the thing with an MBA, in my opinion, it's like if you want to get an MBA, like I think you should go for something that's like very like established, in terms of like the connections and their kind of, like the help that they can provide you from being in that program. Whereas like Stony Brook, when it comes to business connections and ties like that, like I think we're pretty bad at that realistically.
It's funny because like every like college you go to here, like business, engineering, medicine, like they always say like that they're the main point of Stony Brook.
Mm-hmm.
Because like as an engineer student, like they've said like the engineering is like the main point of Stony Brook that everyone comes to Stony Brook for.
Right.
And then I went to business school like last month like to get like to talk about that and they said the same thing, like we're the main reason why everyone comes to Stony Brook.
I think for Stony Brook, well, Stony Brook, apparently the economics department has been growing exponentially.
Yeah.
So it is a lot more students come. That and psychology has been growing, but I think generally speaking, Stony Brook is more for STEM majors. Anything in those fields, it's like you're getting a great degree.
I just find it funny, like the pitch, kids like we're the best.
Again, it's a business. College is a business.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're gonna try to reel in students any way that they
I mean,
can.
like you may go point because I'm still not exactly sure where I'm gonna go for business school. But like this is one of my options, and like I'm taking it because it's cheaper. But I still have to look out more.
Yeah.
So to take
like for me,
or GMAT.
Yeah, the decision I made was like if I was to go for a master's or get a degree post undergraduate, I would be like my only choice would have been Baruch. Baruch's Zicklin School of Business is like the most like renowned, like well-known business school in New York. And it's just like if I was to do it and I was to go into this much debt, like I would want like my money's worth.
No, for sure. But I mean, also Baruch will cost more than Stony Brook, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But like, in the end, a degree is a degree. Like of course, Baruch looks a lot better than Stony Brook in business. But like, I'm still gonna have learned something about business. Where like you might learn more, but like I still have like that base where I can still learn more about myself. Like to me, school the school doesn't matter as long as I'm still learning about it.
I think again, like
connection-wise, name-wise, for sure.
Yeah.
But like,
also, if you think about it,
I can make it by myself.
If you think about it for accreditation, the reason they're not accredited is because the program isn't as long-standing. They haven't been around for as long.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, if you take that into consideration and
also,
you think of a school that's more established, that means that their classes have been around for longer. They have better professors, better resources.
Oh, for sure. But like, what I was told was that they didn't get it earlier because it's voluntary. Like you don't have to get that accreditation like to be a business school.
Okay.
So like they have the mandatory ones, and then like now because they want to help their students out a bit more, so like they're going for that voluntary one as well.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
Just probably because the population is going up and more students are coming for economics.
Exactly.
So like, this makes sense for us to get accreditation to retain more students. Okay.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
That's what I was told at the very least. Yeah.
Right. I'd say be careful with your stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, I'm like, yeah, we're come over here. And
also, just take the pool into consideration. We're gonna have a pool next year. Oh, we got a pool.
No.
We're closing it.
Well,
we have a pool.
They closed it?
No, we have a pool.
No, we have one.
I think
I went there. I can't swim, right?
I can't swim either.
I went there. I was like, it's 13
It's only
feet
deep. It's only.
I'm like, what the point of the pool? It's only
really
deep.
stupid. I don't know.
Cause like over summer, like I had a class and like I went to rec to work out, play ball, whatever.
Yeah.
And I see that the pool's open. I'm like, alright, I'll play ball, and then I'll like soak in the pool for a little bit, rest. I play ball. I go into the pool. I'm like, where's the pool? Like it's downstairs.
Also it's really difficult to get.
I go downstairs. I'm like, which direction, whatever.
It's like through the lockers, through the showers, through like the basement.
Exactly. And then I get there, and then I walk into it, and like it says 13 feet deep. I'm like, alright, cool. I walk around. I walk like 14 feet deep. I'm like,
I think that when they have open swim, I think the lowest the elevation goes is like 7 feet. but I can drown in 7 feet.
Yeah,
I will drown in 7 feet.
I mean,
I can't. I will.
I'm 6 feet. So like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't.
I can't even float.
Literally, like I'll start flailing, and then people don't believe me when I tell them this. Like I will start flailing, and then I will force myself to drown. I will force myself to drown. It's like, Joe, stay calm. Nah, I can't. And then I'm underwater. Just take me. I'm gone now.
That's funny. But like there were like 3 lifeguards there, and then I asked I asked each one. I'm like, is there like a less pool?
Mm-hmm. Is there a baby pool?
I'm like, fuck, I can't swim. I'm out, peace.
Yeah, so don't trust. I mean, work on.
Yeah, no, for sure not.
But this is an option to have.
But like, I don't trust anybody when they tell me something about themselves.
You want to believe it. Like, you want support to believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, if someone says like, oh, like, I'm a good guy, where's the evidence?
Yeah, where's the evidence?
Like, prove it.
Alright, so I'm going to take a step past education now, because we talked about that for a while. I'm going to go into the beard and being Sikh and religion and all that.
Into the beard.
I'm going to dive into the beard.
Okay.
Because this is actually an important question, and I actually haven't asked you this. Is like if you're ever paranoid or take into consideration like how getting a job.
Oh, for sure not.
like the effect that you're.
I've been told so much about that. It's like some people like discriminate against you because of your turban and beard and whatnot. And I'm like, so like if I'm gonna take that job, I'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm qualified and they don't take me, then it's their loss, not my loss.
Right.
I can go somewhere else.
Okay.
I go, and again, like I'm talking about myself, so like, you might not believe it, but I think I'm very versatile. Like I can do anything I want if I try it.
Right.
So like, it doesn't bother me like if someone says like, oh, like, yeah, the beard, I might not hire.
Like cool. To you, it's like my qualification should be what matters, not who I am or how I look.
In every case, yeah, but like if you don't take me because I'm like,
I wouldn't want to work there.
That and it's like it's your loss because. If I'm qualified to do that job, then you're using a person with very good work ethic and someone that can like build past that job and do more for you than just that job. Mm-hmm. So like it's not my loss. At that point, it is my loss. But in the long term, it's your loss.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's studies that prove that diversity in the workforce are positive
effect on the company.
On the company, yeah, on like the growth of the company and productivity and efficiency.
Yeah. Have you heard about the YouTube like lawsuit, whatever?
On
some party like whatever. Well, some white dude suing them because he couldn't get hired or got fired because they needed more like colored people. Like
see, that's something I don't agree with.
Or like whatever.
I'm actually the next guest I'm having on.
For sure not, but like.
You understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, and then also, but like. I don't like that, but like I can't prove that they were doing that. Of course, like companies want more like.
No, but okay, so this is a good example. You know Mindy Kaling?
Who?
Mindy Kaling.
No.
She's an actress. But her brother put that he was African American on his applications, and he got into all 7 Ivy League schools. And I was talking to Pravin, and Pravin was talking about his dad, how like statistically speaking, and his dad's on like the board of admissions for Yale.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. But he was talking and he was saying like it's statistically impossible to be accepted to all 7 Ivy Leagues, but because he put African American on his application, he got accepted to all 7. Okay. Given he also had like lower grades and SAT scores than a lot of other people who had applied. And I'm not saying like we should get rid of affirmative action, but I think affirmative action, like to an extent, it's like you're picking diversity over like the quality and like the capabilities.
At some point, it does become racism again.
Yeah, exactly.
But like. That was put into place to help like the former slaves because they didn't have.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
Yes, but also like how do you know that he wouldn't have been accepted like if he put that he was white? Because it's that one case.
Right, that's true.
And like of course statistics have like they're really important to look at, but like they're not always true.
Yes, yeah, I can't disagree with that. Yeah. That's true, but I think.
But I do get what you're saying.
The case isn't like I'm not saying like this
rare.
is the case. I'm just saying
it's for rare. It's for sure. But like I can't say.
I'm saying like this is a case that could possibly exemplify that the function of affirmative action is having diversity over what a person can do, which I don't think should be the case in every case. Where it's like you shouldn't just pick a person because they're color. Diversity does make the workforce more efficient and better. But you shouldn't go out of your way to hire someone because of color, because that doesn't necessarily mean that your workforce is going to be better.
I think it was put into place to give people to give people that are colored like
a better chance,
an equal chance,
yeah.
like if they're qualified the same amount.
Right.
But then people use it as,
see, like a good example,
them, like in a different way.
Yeah. So like a good example I could give where it's like this kind of the idea of affirmative action in a way works really well is the equal opportunity program. I don't know if you applied for that, but like it's a specific program where it's like if you have a low income family and you have like low grades, they correlate you having low grades because of the low income. So I applied for equal opportunity, but I didn't get in because my grades were too high.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, that means you're capable of, doing well on your own without the help. Without an extra help. Like, I understand.
But then if your family's low income and you have better grades, isn't that like a sign that like if you had more income in your family, like they can have even more grades because you don't have to deal with that poverty or whatever?
See, like, it's so difficult to draw, like, a line.
See, but like, also, for that, like, I didn't apply for that because, like, my grades were, like, decent. Like they were good enough to get into whatever I wanted to get into.
Right.
So, like, I didn't really need that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. It's difficult to draw those lines.
I mean, like, but these are issues that people have been pondering over for, like, who knows how long.
Yeah, that's true.
We 21-year-olds aren't going to solve it like, in, like, a couple of hours.
Yeah. But, I think it has gotten better, where I think more and more companies don't care.
I feel like back in the day, like, being moral wasn't like that popular. Like nowadays, like the
What do you? Oh, yeah,
I
see what you're saying.
It was like I'm gonna hire you because you're black. Now it's like it's still that way a little bit, but like it's more like I'm gonna hire you because you're black and you're qualified.
Yeah.
Or this person that's white and qualified.
Right.
Because it's baby steps, but we're getting towards the place where like what is the right thing to do, and then we're gonna do that.
Right. Okay. That's a good like middle ground there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go back more into religion. Is actually because I don't know. I think you explained this to me when we were like 14 or 15.
I explained this to everybody, but they don't like ever remember anything because
I don't remember
when it's not your life
or
your I mean of course, but like when it's not your life that you're living it through, like you're not gonna like really care about it as much as I would care about it because it's my life. Yeah.
It's not like a negative connotation.
No.
It's just like it's just
like,
not part of my day to day. I don't even know things about my own religion, which is something I always point out because like I always feel like a horrible.
I mean, but you shouldn't because like it's your choice. Like,
exactly.
If you don't want to partake in a religion, because I am part of a religion, but I think religions are stupid.
In terms of like segmenting populations.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And like being like okay like that religion like because you're the same as I am, I feel closer to you than with someone else. I feel like religion, like that label, is what ruined religions.
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're saying. It's segmenting off populations and making them kind of like.
Like for Catholics, like there's like Orthodox, and then there's like other types of Catholics, and like it's like why like you don't believe in.
You make them groups, like fighting groups.
Yeah, exactly. I believe this is more of a lifestyle than a religion.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I think that the thing you said with like people trusting each other more when they're from the same religion, I think that's more like because that also happens culturally speaking.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know, like another person's Punjabi or Indian, like you innately have a little bit more of like a.
Yes, I've been told that by like everybody from my culture that that you should always help your own kind. I'm like why only my own kind? Like why can't I help anybody that I see that needs help?
Right. Right. I think, but I mean, I'm not saying like you shouldn't. I'm saying that it's like it's more innate for that to be a thing, just because the way it's like you can it's easier to associate with those people.
That's really weird because like in our culture, like we do that. Like we help Punjabis more than we help
same
people.
Thing with
but then in my like religion.
Same thing for in Islam is the same thing. You should help any person the same way that you would help your own brother. Yeah. But I think it's again like the idea of like when civilization starts segmenting religion off. It became more of that segmented ideology where you kind of cared about your group way more than you did for other groups. Yeah. So I want you to go into like the history of
of me or the religion.
No, not you. Of the religion. I don't care about you.
That's wild. That's wild.
Not like the entire history, but like because like I don't like perfectly understand like the whole idea of like growing up. You know, your beard and your.
I mean, I didn't grow up into Sikhism. I like.
Well, what part of India are you from also?
Punjab.
You're from Punjab,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, yeah.
Are there definitely are, but like how prevalent is the population of Sikh or Punjabi people outside of Punjab?
What? Say it again.
How prevalent is it?
I don't know what you meant.
That like what is the prevalence of like Punjabi people or people who follow Sikhism outside of like the area of Punjab in India?
I mean,
because I feel like majority are from
I don't
Punjab.
have a number, But I mean,
do you know like many people that are?
The majority are from Punjab for sure.
Yeah.
But like, are you asking like where are they, or like are there a lot outside of it?
Are there a lot? Do you think
for sure?
Okay.
Because like, I mean like I feel like maybe 60% are in Punjab, but like it's getting less and less because people are leaving India because India is corrupt.
Yeah.
So people trying to leave and find better lives like outside of India and whatnot. But like
there's apparently
I feel like it's half in India, like half in Punjab, mostly, and then like there's like and half like everywhere else.
Yeah. I didn't know how large the Punjabi population was in Canada. It's large.
I don't know about in Canada in general, but like there's a town called Brampton, and they call it Brown Town because like it's pretty much Punjabi people. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's one, Just Rain from YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's I think his friend's like running for prime minister. He's like some.
Him. Yeah, I know.
I forgot his name. But he's doing. He's doing like great work as a elected official, and like he's kind of changing the image of like a Punjabi person, where it's like he's showing like that the whole thing we were saying was like acceptance of people and all that. He's like really showing that.
It's funny too because like I think it was during elections or something. I heard that in New Jersey, a Sikh mayor got elected. A Sikh got elected as mayor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As mayor.
Yeah. Like with like a full turban and everything.
Okay.
So like,
that's crazy.
It's like we're advancing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like
brown people
are newer to America.
Yeah.
So like that's why like we're gonna get everywhere a little bit later, but like we're still getting there.
Yeah. Yes, I want to go into like the reasonings why in the religion that you do the things that you do. Because you committed to it from like middle school on. Like you said, you didn't shave from middle school on.
Oh yeah, 6th grade.
It was a commitment. The 6th grade
for sure.
I still don't commit to things. I have commitment issues.
Like of course, like there's there's been doubt, of course, because like you question things and like I'm like a logical person, I would say, so like I question a lot of things, but like it's what I believe in. So, like, are you looking for like the history of Sikhism or like just like the principles of Sikhism?
Like a little bit of.
I mean, like
not the full extent of the history.
On purpose, but this by saying like even though like I'm part of it, like I don't know everything or even half of it. Like I think I'm a little bit of it.
This is the thing that I tell a lot of people. It's like I don't think you know everything unless you're like
for sure
you studied it. Like it was your
like,
everything.
Like even like my parents, like I want to say like they know everything. Like they know more than me, obviously. But like that's not
exactly.
Everything,
So I just want to go like kind of more into like a little bit about the principles, like the main underlying principles that you learned, and then a little bit of like the history and like kind of reasonings behind the actions that you do. Because like how like Islam is like 5 pillars of Islam. Like this is what we follow and this is why we follow it. It's like kind of like that. Because like with Islam, it's like the 5 pillars, like the easiest way to depict what we do and why we do it.
They don't really they don't like main principles. Like we do have a code of conduct, but like that's just like a general like guide, like rules to follow, like to be part of, like not
the 10 Commandments
not to be.
Kinda?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it's more like what you should do.
Okay.
I mean like I can tell you like why we do some of the things we do. Like we keep our hair.
Yeah.
Because because God made all creation, right? Like and He made humans too. So like the fact that we have hair is Him putting hair on our body.
Okay.
And like Him like growing it or whatever. So like when we cut it off, it's like for us it's like when you cut it off, it's like you're saying I don't want what you gave me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it's like in a way like it's disrespect towards the creator of everything.
Okay.
And like I'm not saying God because God is like it's twisted with like because like we say like God like in everyday conversation like in general because like God just means like a
higher power.
Yeah. And then but the word God itself is been brought into like some like wrong stipulation I would say. But I'm using it for like in this cases whatever. And then like we keep it's like and then we have this Qur'an.
Yeah. What's it called?
Qur'an.
How do you spell that?
K-A-R-A. Or K-H-A-R-A.
Because you've had that since you were. Is that a different one?
I mean, yeah, of course. Like
it got bigger.
I can't have like the same one since I was a kid.
Does it dumb?
I don't know exactly why we wear this, but to me, like because it's a circle, it means it's infinite.
Okay.
And then like that's to remind us of God at all times, because God is infinitely everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have like this special like boxers called kashade. Like that's to remind us like to not give in to like our pleasures and like.
Okay.
And I know you have.
Don't put me out like that.
I know that you have different viewpoints on that, but
I never said anything.
For sure. But yeah, but like that's like the whole point like of those is like it's like to remind ourselves like when we see it, don't fall for
temptation.
Exactly. And then like we carry a kurban, like it's like a small dagger on us.
Yeah.
That's more for self-protection.
Legalized more recently, right?
Yeah.
Like in terms of
I don't know how long it's been, but like the legalized one is a 3-inch or smaller.
Okay.
That's sealed, so like you can't take it out.
Okay.
Which is fine. But it's meant for self-protection, like, so like you know when something bad happens, like or someone's like trying to like hurt you, you can like use it for self-defense. There's that, and then there's and then a kanga, like it's a hair comb that you keep in your hair at all times.
Okay.
It's meant to like be for purity, so it's like because like we're told to like wash our hair like as much as possible and comb it twice a day.
Okay.
Like because like people of God are clean,
right.
and it's basically there to remind you to cleanse yourself as much as possible.
Okay, that makes sense.
And those are like the 5 things: case, hair, kashada, the boxers, and the kara, this, the kanga, and then the kirpan.
Okay. Yeah. Why do they all start with K's?
I don't know.
Just
we call it 5 Ks, but I don't know.
Okay.
But also because like so like in Sikhism when you're baptized into religion.
What is the process of being baptized into religion?
What do you mean? Like this, like what happens?
Is there a process? Because I know like when you get baptized in Christianity, like you get like dipped in.
So like
Like I don't fully understand that. I probably should talk to someone from like Christian background.
Yeah.
That, like will explain that to me.
I think like it's holy water and like that just like drains out your impurities. But I don't know.
I don't know either. So I don't speak for
but for Sikhs, when you get baptized, you go like into the temple. They read off prayers, and then this thing called amrit, like it's like holy water that like it's not water, it's nectar.
Okay.
And they make you drink it, and they splash it on your face, and then they pour it into your hair. Cause it's a ritual of cleansing, because like it's holy nectar.
Right.
And then you drink it, and then you they do it to everybody, cause it's not just like individually done, like it's done like in groups. Okay. So like I'll go, then someone else will go, and then and everyone will go until they finish. And then once they finish, they tell you like the code of conduct, and then they what's the word? And then like you just pray a little bit more, and then like you're baptized. And then after that, like you have to follow certain rules that like an unbaptized Sikh wouldn't have to follow.
Okay. Yeah. It's like if you went to like Mecca or like pilgrimage when you're like devout Muslim, like post pilgrimage, like you're not supposed to do anything of like sin. Or, like,
pretty much.
Consider like.
And then like once you're baptized, like when you're baptized, our last guru named that group Khalsa. Okay. And then I guess that's where we get like the 5 Ks from, because like Khalsa, and only the Khalsa are not allowed, but only they have to wear all 5 at all times. Okay. Like the other when you're not baptized, like you don't have to wear them, but you should.
You should. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. You ever? I've asked this many times. Like, you ever feel like there's gonna be a point where you are gonna not fall back, but like think differently about the way you go about your
I think differently from the day that I decided to follow my religion. Like I'm very different from that day. Like I'm still a child, but your thinking matures. You see the world in different ways because you see much more. And like of course like I'm not the same person as I was back then, and of course like it's harder in society now to be like a person of faith.
I strongly agree with that.
Because it's seen as
I think it's not the norm anymore.
Exactly.
I don't
exactly. It's seen as weird. Like you.
I don't think it's weird. I think it's just not the norm. I wouldn't say it's weird because same thing with my friend Rihat. Like I've talked to you about him before. He's like a very religious.
I think I met him.
Yeah, you definitely had. He was the president of MSA for a while. He was a very religious Muslim man. He's like a great guy. He follows everything to a T. Like I very much respect him for doing that. But like. That's not like the norm, Like I know many Muslim people. I know a lot of people, a lot of cousins. Like it's like he stands out. He's different because of his kind of like how like devout he is.
To be fair, loyalty is kind of a not common trait anymore either. So it's like faith isn't common either anymore.
Just look at divorce rates.
Exactly. And I found that funny too, because like everyone's like as a child like your culture likes arranged marriages and whatnot. I'm like, they last longer than love marriages.
They do.
So like, why not?
There's Aziz Ansari talks about it, and I've mentioned this before.
I've heard of him. I've never heard like any of his.
I like his show. I'm not the biggest fan of his stand-up, but it was like when he talked about, he was talking to Seinfeld about this, and he says like people think that getting married like and finding the perfect person is so normal, but you know it's not. It's like a 1 in 7 billion like opportunity that you're gonna find the perfect person. And you think about that, and you think about arranged marriages. Doesn't it make more sense for an arranged marriage where it's like you're like not more sense?
No,
it's
it does. But things like back then, like they were different. Like back then, like when my parents got married, it's like my dad was told my mom, and then my mom was told my dad, and then they met them on the day of the wedding.
Yeah.
Now it's different because like when my brother and my sister-in-law got married, and then when my friend got married.
Did your brother get arranged marriage?
Yeah, sort of arranged. Cause like we knew my sister-in-law way beforehand, and like they talked beforehand, and like they got like and someone was like, "Why not just get married?" And they're like, "Okay." No, but like they talked before like saying yes, and they're like, "Do you want to?" And then like they talked together, like whatever, and like they found themselves compatible enough, and they're like, yeah, let's do it.
I mean, you're not gonna find the perfect person.
Of course not.
The perfection doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
Actually, I'm not gonna say that. I think like you can get close to perfect. You can get like pretty goddamn ideal situation. But I think it's more uncommon for that to happen.
Is different for everybody.
Yeah, that's also true.
So like I'm not gonna find something like someone perfect that's not perfect to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next thing I want to go into?
You still want to hear more about religion, or?
Yeah. I kind of went into a good amount. I think we covered like the main principles, the 5Ks, and all that. Last thing, because I knew this conversation was going to last a lot longer than I thought it was going to, because I usually do like an hour, but this is already like an hour and six minutes. Yeah. So last thing I'm going to is like what you want to do outside of like education, getting a job, and all that stuff, and like talking about.
Well, I mean, there's my
passion,
my rational plan.
yeah, I feel that.
And then my dreams.
Right. I think that's for everyone.
But also I'm a really.
What time is it? It's 3. It's almost 3. Okay.
I'm a really gullible person. Gullible.
What do you mean gullible? I mean, I want to say gullible. Like optimistic. I
mean, I'm optimistic, but like by gullible, I mean like cause like I get really influenced really easily.
Okay.
Cause like whatever I like to do, I want to try it. I mean, like whatever I like.
That's what I'm saying. It's not gullible.
I want to try it.
I wouldn't say that's gullible though. I'd say that's like optimism.
Yeah. Cause I've had different passions throughout my life, obviously. I mean everyone does.
Or idealist, I could say, I guess. Like you think like in an ideal scenario, like you can make this.
Yeah.
Work. Yeah.
I mean, but like I don't think.
It's not idealist.
I don't think like.
There's a word for it. I know there is. Yeah. I can't think of it right now.
But like right now, I mean not right now. Like it's been a couple of years. Like just rap, because like I love rap music, so it's like and it's helped me so much. So I'm like, why not help give back to that culture? I think it was August. I met someone like my friend, and he's been rapping for a little bit. And he was like, "Yo, let's just make songs. Let's try it out." I'm like, "Yeah, dope." Cause like I always want to make songs, but like I'm not like, despite me being who I am, like I'm not confident though.
Right.
Cause like I second guess everything like I do, because I'm like, was I right? Like did I do the right thing? But I feel like I wasn't confident for rap. But like in August, because I had him with me, I'm like, yeah, let's try it. And I mean, of course, I was garbage at first, and I've been just trying to get better. But then also recently, I've had, I've seen boxing fights.
Okay.
And of course, I've taken karate before.
Boxing, is that what you're trying to do now?
I'm not trying to
really?
Not professionally, but just to learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I mean.
Be gigantic.
Cause I see, I want to be a well-rounded person, that can do anything that.
You don't want to be a one-trick pony.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I tell people all the time. I tell them all the things I do.
So I'll separate it right now. My rational career is engineering, work with my brother, get a job in that field, but I can't see why I also can't rap on the side.
Right.
And if it blows up, go with that.
Yeah.
More likely than not,
you always gotta have a side hustle.
It doesn't blow up. I can still do it because I love it.
Yeah.
Because rap is amazing. Yeah. But those are my two.
I mean, that's the same.
My dreams and my path.
It's the same thing I'm at, where it's like job, getting a job, working, being in the field, and then working on the podcast and YouTube and stuff. I
hear a lot of like I can't do my dreams because I have to do that. But it's like, why? Why can't you do both? I guess a lot harder.
You have to put the time.
Exactly.
It's because for me, it's like this semester, I'm actually thinking of dropping another class. realistically, but I'll talk about
shouldn't
that.
do that.
No, I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But like this semester, I took a very light semester because like this is my last semester here, and it's like I really want to focus on like this, like like doing like the podcast and stuff like that. Where it's like you need time, no matter what you're doing,
For
you have
sure.
to invest time into it.
And then if you do both, there's a lot less time.
Less time for just
less time for rest and chilling.
Yeah.
But just think about the long run. Like what can it, like if you do both and say like your dreams pan out, most likely more likely than not, people's dreams like are connected with more money, right? So like if like say like that rapping blew up, right, and I get more money that way, like I can quit my job, do rapping, and in the end have more time to just relax with my family and then my friends and whatever.
100%. But I think it's difficult to work today for a better tomorrow versus procrastinating. Like, it's too easy to procrastinate for most people.
For sure.
Like it takes a lot of mental fortitude. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to really be like, oh, like I need to put in the time right now.
I don't know about like other people, but like for me personally, it's like, at a certain point, it's like I get disgusted by myself. It's like
no, without a doubt.
I think everyone does that. I've been sat here for like I don't know how long. Just watching
Netflix, just
get on YouTube video for like 3 hours when I could have been doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I think, and I was actually talking to a friend about this earlier today, where it's like you have to find the right balance. Like
For sure.
like you can't put 100% into everything because you're gonna burn out. It's inevitable. I think you generally speaking, you'll burn out. There are people.
That's what happened with me in school. To be fair, cause as a kid, I was forced to like study. So like in the summertime, study, do all this stuff. And then when I got to high school, I'm like, I want to chill. And then at that point, like I stopped studying. And my grades were good enough to like I'm smart enough to get by without studying because like my memory is insane. So I got decent grades and like I'm gonna chill. But then that attitude carried over into college. And my grades aren't bad now. Like
they could have been better.
Like my friends say it too. It's like if you actually studied and worked on this on the stuff you'll be like amazing. Yeah. But like it's like at this point, it's like I don't give a fuck and I don't care about stuff that I don't care about.
Yeah, that's another thing I think it's really crucial for people to take into account. It's like forcing yourself to do something. I talk about this with someone too. Is forcing yourself to do something, you're not gonna get the best output. Never. Because it's not genuine. You don't want to do it, and eventually you're gonna not want to do it anymore, and you're just gonna not enjoy it.
For sure. I mean, because I love computer and like engineering, right? Like the general stuff, and then like I've been with my brother and like see what he does and like all this stuff, and that's what's interesting. Right. And the stuff that we learn here is just like it seems pointless because I'm not gonna go into like actually like building new what's it called?
Software, hardware. No.
Like
technology.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna make inventions.
Okay.
Like to like help expand the field.
World, yeah.
Because that's not. Like I don't have that much knowledge and
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. It's like with me, with like I'm being a math major, it's like I'm capable of all this stuff, but like I'm too dumb to like contribute anything further than where I'm at right now. Like, so I can contribute more somewhere else.
I can contribute enough to like, keep it there, but I can't progress it. Yeah. Because the people that make inventions they're truly geniuses. Yeah. And be as smart as I may, I'm not a genius.
I think it takes what's it called? I forgot what it's called. But there's an effect where it's just like the more you learn, the more you realize the dumber you are. It's like the basic effect, and it's like at a point I think you have to be smart enough to know how incapable you are. Exactly. Like how dumb you actually are. Yeah. And like that doesn't really happen until you're like we were saying when you're younger, you don't realize how much you don't know.
Even in college, like most kids don't realize that.
They don't.
Because then like they make excuses like it was just that class. Like I just. That professor was bad, or like his accent was bad, or whatever the shit was.
Blaming others is too easy.
Way too easy.
It's not common to blame.
I did that for my first years, and then like I took a step back. I'm like, yeah, like he wasn't as good,
but I could have done
a lot more. Yeah.
Okay, it's a good note to end it on because this is like an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, dude, thank you for being on. No problem. All right.
Anytime.
You can say hi.
I'll come back when I'm famous. Don't worry.
Okay, come back when he has his rap career up and up.